Okay, let's look. I have this.
Well, I gotta get moving, so let me get this meeting started. Okay, we're gonna get started.
Can I go first?
Okay, board members, let's sit down. Board members, we're waiting for two more. George, please come up. Sylvia? Okay. Short one still for quorum. I'll just make a quick announcement. I'm Mark Salzberg. I'm Vice President. Mike Newhouse, our President, is stuck in traffic. He asked me to get the meeting started. Our Secretary, who would normally call the roll, is apparently here. Hi, Chris. So now we can really get started. We'll give Chris a couple of seconds to get settled. Okay, why don't we start with the Pledge of Allegiance? Stand and state and face the flag. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. So as soon as we take the roll, we'll start with last month's minutes.
All right. Mark Salzberg. Chris Valentine present. Hugh Harrison. Robin Rudisil. Jed Parker. Sylvia Roth. Mike Bravo. Aaron Darling. Melissa Diner. George Francisco. Georgia Neris. Matt Klein. Ira Kozlow, Eduardo Mania, Joe Murphy, Abigail Myers, Max Sloan, Tommy Walker, Kelly Willis, Bud Jacobs. All right, we have quorum.
Great, we have a quorum. So the first item on the agenda is approval of outstanding board minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes? Matt Klein, a second from Jed Pucker. Any changes or corrections? Seeing none, the minutes are approved. Okay, so we move on to approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda? Kelly Willis and Robin Rudisil. Oh, sorry. We haven't gotten there yet, Robin. Let's get a second. That's Jed. You were pointing, Jed. Okay, now Robin.
Thank you. I need to continue two items, and those are the, let me give you the number. The one on CUBs, I think is one of the last, 12F, and also 12A. I've notified the president, the board president already, and for 12A, they canceled the city hearing, and they're doing some more work on that. And then for 12F, it was decided they wanted to have the YREC, West Side Lupic, I guess it is, hear it next. So we wanted to change the order.
Okay, so 12A will be probably next month, is that right? And it's the same with 12F? Postpone 1 month? Okay. Yeah, okay. Anybody, any other changes to the agenda? Here, Joe has his hand up.
How should I put this? Chris Williams, who was one of the founders of GRNVC, died recently. And the memorial service was this past weekend. And so he was quite significant. And so I just want to recognize him at this meeting.
Thank you very much. And I should have done that. I missed that. That was actually the first item, was calling the meeting in honor of Chris Williams. He is a former board member, one of the founders, I believe. Anybody knows more about, yeah? Ivan's nodding his head.
Yeah, he was on the original board.
Yeah.
And the history following that was a little bit interesting, but I don't think we need to go into that. But I saw him shortly before he died, and that was at a convalescent center over in Santa Monica, and spent about 20 to 30 minutes with him. And he became alive when we started talking about Venice and the VNC, and he knew more about what was going on than I did, which is probably not a surprise to many people here, but nonetheless, it was a fascinating conversation, and I think he should be recognized.
Okay, I'm about to turn the meeting back over to Mike, but I want to thank Whole Foods, Abbott's Habit, and Jessica Blumenthal for food and refreshments. So thanks a lot, guys. And Mike, we are at item 5.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. I think I'm good. Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good. Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late. Traffic from downtown was a little rough. But good to see you all. Okay, let's get on to item 5 here. We have our declaration. Oh, we didn't vote on the board agenda? Oh, okay. I think Mark said we already did. Okay, do we have a motion?
I said hearing no more changes, or I said board agenda is adopted.
Okay. Let's just be real clear. Were there any no votes, any abstentions? Okay, we've got the motion and the second already here in the record. Great. Thank you, Mark. Okay, ex-party communications or conflicts of interest. Does anybody have any ex-party communications that they want to disclose on the record? Mark Salzberg.
So I had various conversations with the CD11 office about item 11A, and I had some conversations about 12. Nope, both of those were removed. Never mind.
Anybody else? Okay, and do we have any conflicts of interest where any board members plan on recusing themselves on any items tonight? Okay, thank you very much. We'll go on to our scheduled announcements and our presentations. First and foremost, our good friends from the LAPD. Hi, come on up. Let us know what's going on. Do we have a cordless mic up there? We have some extras if you want to use this.
Mine.
Hold on. Test it.
Oh my goodness. There you go. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, do I have to put the right side? No. Too far away. Okay, thank you. Hi, folks. My name is Officer Kristen Delatorre. I'm the Senior Lead Officer for A13's area. I have my partner for my sister car for A11, Officer Peggy Thusing. Our areas encompass Oceanfront Walk and Venice Beach, all the way to Lincoln Boulevard on the west side of Lincoln. Our northern border would be Santa Monica, and then our southern border would be Venice Boulevard. So pretty excited for our areas. For A13 area, we're actually one of the few cars that are down in overall Part 1 crimes year to date. We're down 2.4%. What I'm most excited about is burglaries. We are down 20%. So that is a huge, huge win. That is people paying attention, looking out for their neighbors, talking to each other. I really believe that has a huge impact. I'm going to put this thing down if it stops working. I can use my big girl voice. The other thing that we are down significantly is burglary, theft from motor vehicle. And, I find that interesting. I actually had my car broken into years ago. And I know. And what was interesting about it is you think, oh, geez, their car was broken into. It's, not a big deal. It's still, they're going into a very personal, private place that some of us spend a lot of time. I mean, I live in Van Nuys Division, so I'm on the 405 freeway, and I'm inside that car. And so I've acquired a lot of things. And so it was just as kind of debilitating as any other type of crime that happens to folks. So I'm very excited. We're down 20% in the burglary, theft from motor vehicle. Overall, though, our violent crime is still up. It's something that we're still trying to get a hold of. However, our officers and our community are really working together, and we're trying to tackle that situation. I can let Officer Thusing touch that just a little bit. But we have a couple of things coming up in the community in the next couple of months. I want to get on people's calendars. Sunday, November 22nd, we have an amazing organization that is very near and dear to my heart. It's a police officer that started something called Badge of Heart. And it came out of last year, we had a family that was devastated by a fire in their apartment. I think it was a day or two before Christmas. Everything was destroyed, and they lost all of their animals. And thank goodness we were able to actually get the family out. It's right down the street from the station. So officers literally saw smoke and called the fire department and ran to that house. Within a couple of days after this happened, that officer was able to put together $700, and they were able to give this to the family so that they could have some semblance of the Christmas. So what he did when he saw this, he decided to come up with this nonprofit organization called Badge of Heart, and he utilizes police officers, and they do fundraising throughout the year, and they find families that have been victims or have come upon hard times. And what we're going to do is on November 22nd, it's a Sunday at the police station, we're going to give away turkeys for Thanksgiving. So what I'd like to ask you is that if you know of a family in need, or if you know of somebody that is struggling or maybe was recently victimized and would just like, just something nice to happen to them, please let me know. Send me an email, whether or not you want to give me their information or if you want to tell me about the family and then coordinate with me. But it's going to be very organized, and we're going to be giving specific invitations so that it's not just first come, first serve. We're going to find 300 families and folks and individuals, or maybe there's an organization that you think could utilize this. So you can use me as that contact person. That's November 22nd. And then on Saturday, December 12th, we are going to have our annual Winter Wonderland at the police station, where every child up to the age of 15, 12 to 14. We let in some 13 and 14-year-olds. She's a real hard one. I let some of the 13 and 14-year-olds sneak in, but they get a brand new unwrapped toy. And I say that because thank you everybody for making donations. And if you have something used, donate that to the local church or to Goodwill or Salvation Army or whichever one you like. But for this particular event, it's really amazing when you have a child that is constantly getting the hand-me-downs, this is the older brothers or sisters, or, we have, kids that are stuffing their feet into shoes that are 2 or 3 sizes too small for them, but that's just what was handed down, to be able to pick a brand new toy. So if you need any more information about that, I can give that to you, but that'll be Saturday, December 12th. Any questions? Thank you. And I'm back. So we were really excited. We reached out to the city attorney's office, Officer Thusing and myself, and we were able to get some information about the homeless court clinic that they've actually been working on for about 3 years now, and it's out of the city attorney's office. And I recognized that they had only been doing this downtown, and so reached out to them back in May and said, hey, we need that for the west side. Our folks are just as in need for services and help with infractions and different municipal tickets that they get on a regular basis. So it was amazing. They said, sure, we'll do it. It took a couple of months to organize. They expected at minimum 100 people. We had over 200 people serviced and helped today. And they were so excited that it was so successful that they're going to come back again in the next couple of months. So we're going to do some follow-up and see how many people out of that, I think it was 196 was the final number, actually do the follow-up, and we'll kind of see how that progresses. But I'm really excited. It was a big success.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Oh.
I was just going to say a few words. Can you hear? Is this working?
You have to turn it up.
Or turn it on.
Is it on up position?
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Sergeant Teresa Skinner. I am the officer in charge of the Venice Beach Detail. Just wanted to give you a quick update on the beach. We had a fairly successful summer. We had Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day all went off without a hitch. So that was a good thing. We are seeing an increase in our assault with deadly weapons, and that weapon of choice is a skateboard. So we've been putting a little bit of pressure on the people that ride skateboards. Year to date, we've had 21 assaults with skateboards. An assault with a deadly weapon is where there is some sort of bodily injury. So most of them are to the head or to the body or thrown. So that is kind of the weapon of choice right now. And I know that some people are concerned about some of the enforcement we've been doing at the skateboard park, so I just wanted to bring it up to find out if there's any questions that you guys might have about this. But this is specifically why we are getting to know those people that want to go to the skateboard park and want to disrupt the people that are there to skateboard and to enjoy the beach and the park. So I just wanted to bring that up. And then lastly, we're down to our winter deployment as far as the beach detail goes. We have 3 supervisors, 1 for each shift, and myself, and along with 32 officers. So we police the beach from 5 in the morning till 2 in the morning. And that'll be how it is throughout the course of the winter. And then come about April, we'll boost it back up to our regular 52. Any questions for me? Beach?
Thank you, Teresa.
Sir?
Hey, Nick, do me a favor if we can. We've got a really crazy agenda today. Is it okay if Nick gives you a question offline? And anybody else, the officers are really great about hanging out for a little while. And if you have any questions, please see them privately. They're really always happy to do that.
Thanks, Mike. Sorry we took so long.
No. Hey, look, I appreciate it. I just realized we've got a lot of folks here today. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate it. Chewy from Councilman Bonin's office. Just a quick announcement. It looks like somebody left their iPhone back on the table. Is this anybody's? Okay, well, it'll be sitting up here if you realize it's you or a friend of yours. All right, Chewy, floor is yours.
Testing. Testing.
It's working for me.
Can you hear anything over on that side?
Hello?
Ivan, is there anything coming? Yeah, see, that's the...
It's working now.
So continue and I'll try to.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, everyone. First things first, the council member has written a motion in the Public Safety Committee to discuss and instructing the city departments to actually work together to develop an emergency disaster plan in preparation for El Nino. So there's a couple items that we've discussed with the different city departments. One is that during rainy days, the trash receptacles should remain inside. The sanitation department will not pick them up. Reason being is because that's part of the reason why there's a lot of flooding that occurs on days that actually there's a lot of rain. A lot of the receptacles are outside. The trash gets somehow spilled over, and it clogs a lot of the gutters and the sewage system. The sanitation department has cleared the gutters and the sewer system, so we're ready for the rains for El Nino. Shelters will be open 1 month before. They were set to open in December 1st, but now they're set to open November 1st. So they're open a month before. They're set to close a month later as well. And fire stations will be able to have sandbags for everyone to pick up. One thing that I learned is that it's illegal to actually pick sand from the beach for ecological reasons. So if you have any questions, we are developing a website that will have a lot of this information. One website to note is www.notifyla.org. They will be able to send you text messages when there's a disaster, where to go, and more information on any kind of information for disasters such as El Nino. Another website to note is www.lecounty.gov/El Nino. They've worked on a couple issues. One is that they are bringing back the berms this year to actually help with some of the waves and high tide. And the last thing to note is the sanitation number for pumps in case your streets are flooded. The sanitation number is 1-800-974-9794. And so if you need to contact them for any kind of flooding issues, they'll be there to help. There is a draft master plan for the West LA VA, and it's been released. So there's a 45-day comment period that's been launched. If you'd like to comment, and if it's something that you'd like to express some of your opinions, please go to www.helphouselavets.com. That's www.helphouselavets.com, and you can share your thoughts on that draft plan. Today, the councilman also met with HUD Secretary Julian Castro to discuss, how we could get assistance for joint city-county efforts to combat homelessness. So I'm excited to hear what came up from that meeting, and we'll be able to share with you about different strategies to combat that. And then this past month, we were able to actually officially open 23 units of permanent supportive housing in Del Rey. It's Path Ventures. The place is called Path Villas at Del Rey, Bill Rosendahl community. And so it's a really great thing. We're actually housing 23 mentally ill homeless folks there at that location. So, and there's a few other places that are opening up in Del Rey. So it's a really great place. For me, I'm really proud because that's where my community's from. Last thing, there's a Cash for College workshops that's happening October 28th. If there are any students, any family members that would like to receive workshops on how to apply for financial aid, buses will be leaving October 28th at 5 p.m. from Venice High School. If you have any other questions, there are a couple of flyers that I've left there on the desk. And that's it.
All right, thank you so much, Chili. Okay, before, yes.
More information to the public. How are the public going to know when sanitation decides it's too rainy to pick up trash?
That's a great question. That's something I'll bring up with the sanitation department. I honestly don't know.
Okay. All right, thanks.
But I'll be able to email you back and
All right,
give you
sounds
that
good.
information.
Thank you. Okay, before we get to Janet, I'm going to take a quick detour because Mariana, who always so generously and wonderfully organizes our annual toy drive, has to. Yes.
Mariana, let's speak really super quickly. Can you hear me? Okay, now can you hear me? Great. Okay, so this is just super quick because we're just in the beginning stages, but mark your calendars because December 19th is going to be the next Great Venice Toy Drive and Holiday Festival at Oakwood Recreation Center. We're going to start collecting new, unwrapped, non-violent toys on November 11th at various locations around Venice, the VNC table at the Venice Farmers Market, and the November and December board meetings. On December 19th, we're then going to give all of the toys away at a fun-filled day at Oakwood Recreation Center, which is going to include arts and crafts, free food, free photos with Santa, free caricatures, face painting, a bounce house, and of course, snow, which has already been confirmed. If you would like to donate to the event, volunteer at the event, or if you have any large holiday decorations that you would like to give us to decorate the event, please feel free to contact us at thegreatvenice@gmail.com. And just a reminder that this is a VNC outreach event. Everyone is welcome to participate in any fashion that you want to. Come to the event, volunteer for the event, give to the event, stay home for the event. Just enjoy the event. That's all we ask for. So please get in contact with us. We'd love to have you. And so many great people on this board have participated. LAPD has participated. Autumn Burke's office has participated. We're just looking for more and more people every year to come in and help out. So thank you. And any questions, you can just call me.
Awesome. Thank you. Janet from Congressman Ted Lieu's office. How you doing, Janet?
Good evening, everyone. Janet Turner with Congressman Ted Lieu's office. I do have a little bit of good information. You will be noticing that the streets around the Venice Post Office will be staying clean through a series of unusual circumstances and the help of Councilmember Bonin's office. An arrangement has been made so that USPS will have someone to help them clean up the trash in that area. So if you see anything different, let me know. So we're so very happy that the councilman's office helped us with that. So I've had several meetings with USPS, and I don't know if you've heard that Beverly, your area has not really had major problems with mail delivery. I mean, some, but nothing major. Beverly Hills had a huge problem, and just to let you know that if your problem were to get this large, the congressman actually called in USPS officials to his office. Wow. We don't know if this is the result, but not long after, we now have a new regional director for USPS. His name is Al Santos. He actually used to be here, and he's quite good. We're actually very happy to have him back. So I just want you to know that the congressman takes it very seriously. On that note, I just had a meeting with several congressional representatives on Monday with U.S. Postal Inspection Service. Mail theft is becoming a huge problem. And I hope you'll let our office know if you are a victim of mail theft, because we're trying to keep track of it and bring it to their attention. You can reach the postal inspectors at postalinspectors.uspis.gov. It's on that handout. And you can put in, under Contact Me, you can put in a complaint. But most importantly, they came up with a few tips, and it's like really sad that we have to give these tips. Collect your mail from your mailbox every day as soon as possible. deposit outgoing mail into the blue collection boxes before the final pickup or the next day. Of course, check the schedules. And when expecting a package to be delivered, monitor the tracking at USPS.com so you know when to expect it. There are a couple of rings working the west side, and it's not a pretty picture. So USPS Inspection Service is the ones that handle that. They assured me they are working with all of the police agencies with them. If you have a way to video, people have videos now in their doorbells and and their apartment units. That's incredibly helpful to them. They have been able to capture several. But it's still going on, and it's rampant. They believe it's centered around the drug trade, that people needing money for drugs, that's what they've been able to discern. So it's really sad, but it's something you really have to keep your eye out on. And just a PS about the West LA VA master plan. It's going to go into the congressional record tomorrow. If any of you are land use geeks and you'd like to read it, it's 800 pages. You can probably Google it, but more importantly, you can actually comment, and those comments have to go in the congressional record. So if you have people who are interested in the West LA VA Veterans Campus, it might be a good idea for them to follow those links, get there, and at least write their comments into the congressional record. And of course, we're always here for you.
Thank you very much, Janet. Cameron, are you here from Senator Feinstein's office? Come on, welcome. It's nice to have you all drop by. Nice to have you here.
Good evening. I've been to a couple of these neighborhood council meetings across the city, and I have to say that the Venice Neighborhood Council has the best food spread. So thank you once again to those who facilitated our meal this evening. My name is Cameron, and I am a field representative in the office of United States Senator Dianne Feinstein, and I'm here on behalf of the senator as well as my colleague Molly O'Brien, who is actually the representative in this region for the senator. But part of my responsibility in the senator's office is to work with communities and to work with neighborhoods. I've visited various neighborhood councils across the city, and I try to bring the big issues that we deal with in Washington back to the local level. And so it's my honor to kind of join with my colleagues from Ted Lieu's office, from Mike Bonnen's office, and other offices today to just reiterate that the senator very much cares what's going on here in the community of Venice as well as other communities in the region. And I really just want to introduce myself to you and commit that our office will continue to work with the neighborhood council and with the citizens of Venice on any issues affecting them. The master plan for the VA has been of particular importance to the senator. She was here a couple of months ago and visited the VA. She testified before the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee regarding the West Los Angeles VA campus. And if there's anything that the residents of Venice or members of the neighborhood council want to share with our office regarding that, including the public comment, we encourage you to do just that. The senator was also here about a month ago, and she had a very important meeting with the sheriff of LA County, the chief of police in the city of Los Angeles, and other stakeholders regarding human trafficking. It is something that she has reiterated in Washington as well back here at home as one of her top legislative priorities is to fight human trafficking. It's something we see here in Venice all the time. We have victims of trafficking, and I'm sure our law enforcement friends will tell you as well, who come through the city of Venice all the time. And it's something that I think the senator and our office and others are committed to helping do some public education. And maybe that's where we can work with Venice Neighborhood Council. And how do you identify a victim of trafficking? How do you deal with someone if you know they've been a victim of trafficking? It is the second largest criminal enterprise after drugs in the United States of America, and our senator's committed to fighting it, and we ask that you all work with us on that matter as well. well. And I just wanted to let you know if there's anything that we can be of assistance with. Our office is just over on Santa Monica Boulevard and Sepulveda, and we'd be happy to be of assistance or to have you come by sometimes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cameron. Fernando, are you here from Senator Allen's office? I don't see him. Okay, Odysseus, Assemblywoman Burke.
Hello. I figured out just then why everybody comes up here and they go, hello? And then they have to turn it on. The on switch looks like it's off. Did you ever notice that? Good evening, Venice. I am from the office of Assemblywoman Autumn Burke. My name is Odysseus. I'm happy to see you here tonight. Tonight I have just 4 things to mention. 2 maybe boring, 1 definitely sad, and 1 happy thing. I'll start with the happy one. So the legislative session is done for the year. It starts back up in January. If you have ideas for bills, you've seen something in your community, you haven't, something maybe you've been working on yourself feverishly, please reach out to our office and let us know what's going on, what kind of laws you think should be made or maybe unmade or whatever's on your mind with regards to legislation. Because in January, we get back to the grindstone, the members back in Sacramento through the week, and they're making laws. So we want to make sure that you understand that our office is open to you, that you are free to reach out to us, and that any ideas you have are more than welcome. No promises, but you're more than welcome to share them with us, and we'll take them, put them into the meat grinder, if you will, and see if it comes out what you like. So one bill that we had that passed was the Reproductive Fact Act. I came here and tried to rally the troops for the Reproductive Fact Act, and it did pass. So if you weren't here to hear about that before, the Reproductive Fact Act was a bill that had some issues with access to abortion services and women's health services, particularly in rural areas, and there was some kind of little shenanigans going on with the way with which some groups were operating health clinics. So what we did was we got together a coalition of people and passed the Reproductive Fact Act, which states unequivocally what those centers are supposed to state for women who come to their services, so that women who go there always know what's available to them by state law. So that was a good thing. A bad thing was I came here and talked about, and I was shocked about this, Cal grants for veterans. We had a bill, I was shocked to hear this, we had a bill that there's an age cap for Cal grants. Veterans can't get Cal grants after 28. A Cal grant, if you don't know what that is, it's a grant from the state for education. Now, if you know anybody who's in the military service, frequently they're in for 8 years. They go in when they're 18 or 19, and they come out when they're 26 or 27, leaving them just 1 or 2 years to avail themselves of Cal grants, and then they're cut out of the system. So our bill was going to remove that arbitrary cap for veterans. Made it through the Assembly, made it through the Senate. It was like a rocket ship, and then it got vetoed. I don't know why. It was kind of sad. 2 things that we're doing in the community. I don't know if you know, September 28th was the week of Diaper Need Awareness Week. And so a lot of people don't know this, but 1 in 3 American families struggle with providing diapers on a consistent basis to their children. I have 3 kids myself. Diapers are expensive, extraordinarily expensive. Kids who don't have routine access to diapers get sick, they get infections, they go to the hospital, they go to the doctor. Parents who can't typically afford to provide enough diapers for their kids, they want to, maybe they can't, they're reusing them, like literally they're scraping them clean and reusing them, they're washing them and reusing them, not washable diapers. They have to go take their kids to the doctor, they can't afford to buy diapers, they can't afford to miss work. So it's a big problem. So to raise awareness this month, we're going around to all of our community meetings, and we're doing a diaper drive. And I don't know if you have some diapers hanging around. I don't know if you have a little bit of goodness of your heart. Maybe you're in Whole Foods or Target or Ralph's and you want to buy a package of diapers. I'll be here next month at this meeting. If you want to bring some diapers, I will gladly take them. We've arranged to give them out for the holidays to Great Beginnings for Black Babies, as well as the Venice Community Housing, some families in there who need them, and we'll spread them around if we have some excess, which I pray that we do. And the last thing I was going to talk about is the drought, but I'm not going to drone on and on, so I'm going to give it up. I'm just going to say that El Nino might be coming. I know you've heard a lot about preparation. One issue with El Nino is that it doesn't necessarily mean the drought's over. If it only rains in Southern California, the water that comes out of your tap comes from Northern California, and the water that falls in Southern California goes into, anybody know? The ocean, that's right, where we don't get to use it. So if it's raining cats and dogs, as they say, here in Southern California, don't think that you can just turn the shower on, go to work and let it heat up, come home later that day and take a shower. Don't waste the water, because it's not coming from Southern California, it's coming from Northern California. And our reservoirs are less than 50% at this point. It's less than 50%. 6 months is full. Less than 50% of that. So we don't want to give up the ghost. And I'm going to give up the ghost. Good night.
Odysseus, real quick. Send me the info on the diaper drive, because we'll put it in our next 4 email blasts that we send out to everybody, and we'll do a collection at this meeting next month.
That would be fantastic. When is the meeting next month?
It's always the 3rd Tuesday of the month, which next month.
Sticking with that? Not
always
Thanksgiving?
always 3rd Tuesday of the month.
Okay, beautiful. Perfect. Thank you.
Why?
I love you.
Because Thanksgiving?
November? Maybe next year, maybe not.
If it has to move, I'll let you know, but we'll figure it out. We'll do a collection here. So everybody else, if you come here, those of you that are regulars, go pick up a pack of diapers.
Or irregulars.
Bring them to the meeting next month.
And can I say one thing? Another neighborhood council in our district is not participating. So maybe Venice could shine. Maybe I can go to them and say, gosh, guys, isn't everyone wonderful? I know.
Peer pressure.
Thank you, Odysseus. We will be the 3rd Tuesday of the month next month. 17. Just send it to me. We'll get it out there. All right. Rachel, are you here? I've been scanning from Sheila Keel's office. I don't think so. Okay. Our good friend Daniel Tam, welcome back. We missed you last month. Let us know what's going on with the mayor.
Hi, everybody. I'm Daniel Tam. Can you hear me? I'm Daniel Tam. I'm from the mayor's office. Good evening. Rachel, by the way, had a baby, which is why she's not here. She's home with her kid, where she belongs, not here with the baby. The master plan has been addressed. I'm not going to go back over that, except to say that, and I'm sure that Janet is, you've already talked about it, okay. Except to say that Mayor Garcetti knows that ending homelessness among veterans only happens when the entire community, the county, the city, the VA, and all the stakeholders and philanthropy work together to get it done. And it's in that spirit that the mayor's office is proceeding with ending veterans homelessness and chronic homelessness throughout Los Angeles. The other thing that's been happening lately, at the very beginning of October, the mayor was seeking a seismic ordinance in order to be able to deal with what we know is coming as far as the next earthquake. He employed Dr. Lucy Jones, who had come up with a plan for this over the course of the last year. And she met regularly with city council members. City council came up and wrote an ordinance. The mayor signed it, and it's going to go into law. This week, the mayor returned to that to continue focus on his efforts to build Los Angeles and to ensure that Angelinos are earthquake ready, touting the historic building retrofit law, everyday readiness measures, and his demonstration of drop, cover, and hold, that he did that during KNX, Ask the Mayor. And other activities this past week or so, he also dedicated the Ethel Bradley station on the Metro Expo line and announced with Supervisor Sheila Kuehl a major investment in the LA River. Other things that have been happening on the state level, the mayor and Governor Brown announced a initiative, a climate change initiative, an agreement they entered into with 4 cities of China. You may recall that a while ago, Mayor Garcetti traveled to China and specifically was having, business discussions with them to develop relationships, but also to deal with climate change and to help cities in China and share information about what we're doing here and what we can do together. And we entered into this agreement among governors and states and cities in China with Governor Brown and the mayor as a precursor to President Obama's discussions with the Chinese on that. The other thing that very recently the mayor did is he participated in Walk to School, and he did that with Council Member Karen Price, where he ushered students into Dolores Huerta Elementary School on International Walk to School Day. The other thing he recently did on the state level with Governor Brown, Speaker Atkins, and Senate Pro Tem Leader Senator De Leon, they got together for the signing of SB 350. It's a law that mandates that California receive 50% of all its energy from renewable sources by 2030. The other thing that the governor has been discussing recently has been the actual impact of the California film tax credit on the local economy. This is something that almost 2 years ago the mayor was lobbying strenuously for to get pushed through the state legislature. And as I mentioned, he did sign into law the seismic retrofit ordinance, ensuring that the safety of thousands of Angelenos and strengthening of more than 280,000 housing units across the city. That is my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Commissioner Jacinto, thank you for joining us tonight. Nice to have you here.
Good evening, everybody. On behalf of the Department of Public Works, my name is Joel Jacinto, and I'm the newest member to the board, and I want to thank all the stakeholders, the board, and all of you for welcoming me here to the Great Venice Neighborhood Council. I am a resident of CD11. I live in the Del Rey area, but have lived here for many, many years. There's a connection. My wife is a gondolier, so I'm happy to be a part of the landscape, and we've lived many years right off of Centinela, near the old Marina Muggos, now Acosta Sanchez. And so I wanted to introduce myself, and thanks for the opportunity. I'll be very brief, but I have some cards and I have some sheets with all the new lineup of commissioners. In particular, I liaison with the Bureau of Engineering. So a lot of the construction projects, especially with the 6th Street Aqueduct, Viaduct, and the Hyperion Treatment Plant, are things, areas that I liaison and represent to the Board of Public Works. We meet 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. And of course, the department is composed of the Bureau of Engineering, Contracts Administration, Streetscape, Street Lighting, and Sanitation. So the basic public infrastructure. And I look forward to, I also have CD11 as all the commissioners have 3 council districts that they liaison with. So I look forward to being in my home district and together with Councilman Bonin to do many projects with you over the next period. And also, we just had the Dunn Congress last couple of weeks ago, and it was encouraging the identification of a liaison, Board of Public Works liaison from each neighborhood council, and I'm hoping to work with that person to be able to concentrate and carry any issues forward. So, if Mr. President, if you have that person, if that person is identified, I'd love to work with that person. And I'm around. You can reach me by email, and they're passing out the sheets again. And I do appreciate your presence here. This is a great big neighborhood council, and I'm happy to be with you all.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you very much.
The Rose Pier, I guess that's what you call it. You can walk out onto it. I think that's part of the project you were talking about. Do you know of a timeline for when that space might be more secured, activated, better public space on the top and then a better view on the bottom?
Okay, I'm gonna have to, I wanna get with you offline because I don't know the status of that Rose Pier, but I'm gonna find out for you, and that's my job, and I will. Rose Pier.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it. We've got all your information, and we'll be in
And
touch.
Mr. President, when you have that liaison,
I'll get that liaison to you.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Joel. All right. So, well, we are unfortunately a little bit behind time here, but let's try and make it up right now. I don't have anything that needs to be said, either on my own behalf or on RAC's behalf, except, of course, RAC's meeting is tomorrow morning, like it always is. After the VNC, you're all welcome if you'd like to have some breakfast. Mark, I think you have something?
Yeah, I've actually got a couple things. First of all, at our neighborhood committee meeting last month, somebody brought up the status of the Oxford Overflow Basin. They are, as you know, in construction, and we need to use that basin for floodwater overflow. I checked with the County Bureau of Engineering, and what they're telling me is that it's actually in better shape for floodwater right now because they've drained it. So it should actually be able to go through the winter and El Nino rains better than it would have if it were full. So let's keep our fingers crossed on that one. The second item that I wanted to mention was a letter that we got from Mike Bonin, and I just had to say something about this. The first item that I ever dealt with on the neighborhood committee as vice president was the status of the bridges and the canals, which were in pretty bad shape and deteriorating quickly. After 4 years, we finally got notified by Mike just this last month that they've got the design, they've got the funds, and they're going to start working on these bridges in November and bring them up to a standard of repair that will be safe for everybody. So I just wanted to mention that to everyone. Pedestrian bridges.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mark. Okay, Ivan, anything on behalf of Lank?
Hi. So I don't have a whole lot about Lank this month. They spent most of their meeting hosting the Department of Planning short-term rental information session. So I'm going to move on to the next thing, which is elections. Elections are coming. Come on, Liz. Liz is my co-chair for elections. Woo, woo, woo.
Thank you, friends. And
oh, no.
Is it on now?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. The 2016 neighborhood council elections planning is underway. It's looking better than it used to. There are dates, some dates. and you'll hear about those later with the stipulation sheet. But I want to remind all of you, volunteer for at least one of these things. Run for office. You're smart. I know you're smart because you're here. You care. I know that because you're here. Run for office. If you can't do that, be on the election committee. We're going to need a lot of help, and I'm the person you talk to. If you can't do that, at least volunteer to assist on election day. We are expecting at least 1,600 voters, and that takes a lot of people looking at papers and saying, sign here, or here is your ballot, or you put the ballot in the ballot box. There is good news so far. At the recent Neighborhood Council Congress, I believe I got a positive response when I requested that election committee chairs this year and forever after get to review the ballot before they are printed. It will save a lot of money.
Thank you very much, Liz.
Quick question, Liz? Liz, quick question. What's the date of the election? It's not on our...
June 5th.
June 5th, right? That's what I've been saying?
June 5th is the date of the election. Yes, it is a Sunday.
Dee Dee, Department of Water and Power, what's happening?
I'm on. One of the things sitting here, I noticed tonight that we're getting individual responses from individual departments. However, to make this city work, all of those departments have to work together. For instance, the gentleman that was just here for Public Works, I know that some of the executives at Public Works are considering reclaiming water and storing it in Venice. Now, when that water is stored, who distributes it? We need information about these things. And also, here, because we have this lovely climate, but now we're looking into an El Nino, and the areas that flood, if the rain that they've promised actually get here, the areas that do flood now will fill a lot of reclamation basins. And but Public Works just started that whole idea a couple of months ago. So I don't think it's going to be ready for a big El Nino downpour. And so in the interim, I think we need to call on the mayor, who I believe advises these city departments. By the way, does it still flood on your end of the speedway?
No.
Doesn't? Good. That got cleared up. We need cooperation with all departments looking into this. And that's what these people coming here tonight should be talking about. And the reason they haven't is because they're not prepared. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dee Dee. All right. Jesse, bike share?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jessie Holzer, and I'm Mobility Deputy for Councilmember Mike Bonin. Some of you may have heard me present a couple months ago about bike share coming to Venice, but for those of you who were not there that night, I will briefly recap. So bike share is a form of public transportation involving bicycles. You can pick up a bike at one bike share station, ride it to the station that's closest to your destination, and drop it off there. It's meant to give people another mobility option outside of driving and to help with our parking situation, especially here in Venice. The City of Santa Monica is in the process of implementing their bike share program, which will be the first one in LA County. You may have seen they have a couple test locations out right now, and then their program will be installed in full in this. They're aiming for November, but by the end of the year, definitely. So as part of their program, they have given Venice 5 stations so that this community is connected to Santa Monica, which was very kind of them. Their program is different from the regional system that you may have heard about that's being planned by Metro. That station or that program